Okay, hello everybody. This is Jay Stone, the emotional nudist at work. As promised, we are here for our first Naked Chat Live in a very long time. So, I promised you guys I would bring it back, so here it is. Now, here are some housekeeping rules. We're not actually getting physically naked. I am the emotional nudist, so this is about emotionally getting naked. We are having real conversations about real women, real business, and real life. However, today our guest is not a woman. We actually have a couple. I have my friends,
Yeah. Yeah.
Rufus and Jenny Triplett. We've been friends via social media for a very, very long time. They're coming on the show today to talk about marriage lifestyle. The marriage lifestyle. They have built a huge marriage lifestyle brand. So let's just talk about a few of the things that we know that they've done. So we know that they've been the 2012 Ebony Couple of the Year. They've also been chosen by Mashable as the social media powerhouse couple. They have done everything from writing books. They have one book written and one on the way. So they are published authors. They have a very popular radio show, and they've certainly been on a lot of different media outlets. Jenny is a regular contributor to HuffPost Wedding. They've been on HuffPost Live, CNN, HLN. They've been on Dr. Phil. They've been on who was it, Judge Penny. A lot of media coverage, right? So when I say that they've turned their marriage into a lifestyle brand, then you understand what I said. So then let's throw in the fact that they've also launched their own marriage fragrance, and then they've got some exciting stuff that they're doing with TLC coming up. So
Woo!
everybody, can I get a whoop whoop? We're on Twitter. Naked Chat Live is the hashtag. My Twitter handle is JAISTONE. Their Twitter handle is Our Marriage Tips. So we want to hear from you, because I'm going to turn to Twitter to get questions and Q&A and everything from you in just a second. But just join me in getting a whoop whoop to Rufus and Jenny. Hey!
Hey! Woo! Hey!
Girl, you're late. You're late on it now.
Oh, stop it.
Catch up.
So first of all, let me just say thank you guys for joining me. I figured when it's time to bring back Naked Chat, I had to bring back the power players, the power hitters.
Uh-oh.
Rufus, you're officially the first guy I've ever had on Naked Chat.
Hey, girl, you better recognize.
Another first. We are breaking
You
barriers.
better recognize that she told you something.
Way. You better recognize.
I'm trying to tell you what she said.
Stick with me. I'm taking your places, okay?
Yeah, is that right?
All right.
Okay, so let me just tell you, I've hung out with these guys a couple of times, and this banter, this back and forth, this is them every day, right? So, like, watching their dialogue, it's like in 3D when you're seeing it in person. I'm just like, what?
Jay,
I don't know who's going to say something next, right? What?
Right,
So, you guys, so I want to talk a little bit about, I met Jenny online first, right?
Yes.
Every time she likes to tell this story, so I'm gonna beat her to the punch with telling the story. Okay. So we first connected. She first connected with me on Twitter through her other business, which is called Prison World, right? So Prison World was the Twitter handle. So when I saw the Twitter handle, I was like, yeah, I ain't quite sure if this Uncle Charlie and them trying to play games with me or what this is. So I did not follow the Twitter handle back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she passed you by then?
Fear of
She
a Twitter
passed
handle.
you
That's
by,
going to be
huh?
a book. Fear of a Twitter handle. That's going to be a book.
Oh, Jay got you.
Yep. Mm-hmm. She ain't the only one.
Okay, I will admit to being a brand snob, right? So one of the things is, like, if I don't think that your brand, connects in any way with my brand, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. What I'm going to give you credit for is that you continue to build a relationship, to comment on my content, to post, to interact with me. And I realized, okay, so Prison World is actually a person behind the Twitter handle. And that's, I think, the lesson here. There's always a person behind the social media account. That's
Right.
a real person that has real ideas and real concepts. So, look, she didn't unfollow me. It took me almost a year to follow her back.
Nope. I did not follow her because I really like what she was saying. She is kind of funny. Remind me of my sister. You know the one.
Who?
You know the
I
sister.
don't know the one.
Remind me of my sister.
You got
and she
two
had
sisters.
me
Which
laughing, on a lot of things that she was saying. I was like, oh, this is really cool. And then she would put out some posts and everything. Some things that I was able to
this is really cool. What
retweet and inspire my Twitter connection, my network of Twitter peeps, and put it out there. And that's kind of what networking relationships is all about. I don't think a lot of people get that, but that's really what it's all about. And just
I don't get it, but I just leave that for you to get.
I didn't unfriend her, even after she kind of slighted me on the essence information, because we started talking. She didn't even tell me.
Oh, she got you again.
She didn't even tell me she was connected to essence. She didn't tell me that, okay? Like I was going to ask for something, okay? But no, all I did, I gave her a shout out and a whoop whoop, hey, because, it's always about pulling the sisters up. Hey, anything we get. Hey,
Can you do that
congratulations,
whoop, whoop,
big up and everything.
Higher?
And it wasn't even really about that. It was just about the connection and everything. I was really feeling it, okay?
Yes. And I have to say that I appreciate your just being consistent. That's what I'm going to tell people about building relationships online. You have to be consistent, because the minute somebody thinks that you are just in it for whatever you want or whatever you need, and you're not building real relationships, you don't get, our online relationship became an offline relationship, and we've been able to do some amazing stuff together. So like this past weekend, they had this amazing panel with Omar Tyree. You guys might know him. He wrote the book Fly Girl. He's a New York Times best-selling author. He came in and just gave some powerful information about books and how he became a best-selling author. And Rufus and Jenny were on the panel with him, and they talked about being self-published and being authors in their own plight to being self-published, and then, ta-da, doing so well and staying on the Amazon bestsellers list for so long that they actually got picked up by a publishing company for their second edition. And so my friend Lamar Tyler has this book out called The Gatekeepers Are Gone, right? And I think you guys are a prime example of the fact that you don't have to wait for a big publishing house to put your book out there, to put your message out there. You can do it yourself. And if you're amazing, if you're really, really good, they come find you. So tell me about like the book. How did you even like decide to write a book about marriage? Because I'm sorry, the book's title is Surviving Marriage in the 21st Century. So how did you even decide to write a book about your marriage?
Okay, Mr. Co-author.
Co-author?
You want to take this one?
Well, I got to be the co-author.
Hey,
can I be the author? Sometime?
Go ahead.
At least once.
You got this. Go ahead.
What I got? What was the question?
How did you decide to write a book?
How did I decide to write it?
Yeah, how did you decide?
Because I said I wanted these fellas to know what I be going through. That's what I wanted them to know.
So you sat down and you typed that up?
Huh?
You sat down and you typed that up?
I talked it out.
Uh-huh.
I printed it on the computer.
Yeah.
I did what I did. No, we really I wanted people to understand that I want to write the book from a standpoint that we are going through the same problem that everybody else is going through. Even though you might look at us right now, we go through some things.
We've been through. Let me clarify your tense. Get your tense right.
My tense is wrong.
We've been through some things.
Well, I'm still going through some things. And we wanted
to share, those things and situations with others, and letting people know if they stick in there, they can really survive.
See, I'm going through something right now.
Yes, you are. And this came about when we were hitting our 20-year mark, and we were like, wow, 20 years. When you work a job for 20 years, you're really considered like an expert in your field.
Right.
Just because you've worked for so long. Well, we've put in the work for our marriage.
I showed these.
For 20 plus years.
Ooh.
So we're really considered, experts at this. And that was something, the information that we had wanted to put out to let people know marriage is not always happy.
It sure ain't.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
But it also doesn't have to be a prison.
Huh?
And so I started connecting that with our Prison World brand, like, wow, we could really, do something about
you really take these chains off of me then.
I've always written. I've written since I was in first grade. I've received awards for writing and different things. I actually thought I was going to be in some type of journalism, but
oh, you did.
Life kind of took, a different turn as the music business.
No.
That's what I get for chasing up behind you, the music business. So getting back to my writing, I felt I wanted to put something out. It was more so about legacy. That was the goal that we set with our book, is to leave something behind, because the things that you leave behind, and it's a benefit for people, you know, that's also a benefit for you. So we wanted to give good information, and that's kind of how the book came about.
Some real good information
that we wrote.
There you go. There, as long as you're saying it now.
Okay, so now let's talk a little bit about the fact that, you know, 25 years, that's a quarter of a century. That's a long time. You guys have
like that, yeah.
Children together. Let's go back a little bit, Rufus. I'm gonna pick on you just a little bit. I know that you have some ties to
make them sing. Make them sing for
it. I know you have some R&B roots, as my okay. I know you got some roots that go back to R&B and Ready for the World. I know that you co-wrote and toured with them. So I'm just gonna hit it right now. Oh, shit. Y'all weren't ready for that. Bam, bam. If you
girl, it's all good.
So now tell me, how does a guy who's touring with a top group just decide, okay, it's time for me to settle down and be a family man? Because, I mean, was that even a hard decision for you?
No, it wasn't. I mean,
You stuttering.
Well,
You stuttering over there, The memories coming back to you?
No, I mean,
the 80s was good to you when they did.
I mean, the touring was great. I mean, that's why I'm in Atlanta now, is because being on tour and being out there, I thought Atlanta was great. So, I mean, I got a lot of benefit out of it, traveling and meeting people, knowing how to interact with people. I mean, a lot of people don't get that world. Well, I ain't gonna say world because I ain't been overseas.
No, you didn't go.
I'm just gonna say
you didn't go with them overseas.
But a lot of traveling. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't a hard transition. I met her. Mm-hmm. We hit it off, and I decided.
We hit it off.
Huh?
We hit it off.
Well, somebody hit it off. Then we didn't hit it off.
Seriously?
Huh? I just said somebody hit it. Then somebody hit it off. I mean, you know, somebody hit it off.
Oh Lord. Tell the story. If you're going to tell it right.
I'm telling it how I tell it. Jay asked me the question, so I'm telling it how I tell it.
You're telling it wrong. Oh, wrong.
Anywho, I decided.
Like I said, you having them flashbacks.
I couldn't help it.
I know. He having those flashbacks.
Where my church fan?
But I decided
look,
that.
If you bust out and let me love you down, I'm gonna leave this. I'm gonna leave the Google Hangout right now. It's gonna be over.
Girl, me too. I better call MR. My name ain't Melvin Riley. That's a Melvin thing, man.
Boy, the stories we could tell.
We ain't gonna tell no stories on the road.
Tours.
Oh, yeah. No, we ain't.
Yeah, he talks about him being out there on tour, but he don't tell when I'm out there. When I was out there on tour.
Huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I gotta tell you.
Anywho.
Okay, so you guys both had these very. Jenny, you had your own business, right? You were in the entertainment industry as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And so that's what I
actually worked for Ready for the World. That's
okay.
Yeah.
You actually worked for them, and that's how you guys met.
Yeah. No, that's not how we met. I worked for them after we met, which I call it now. I did their marketing outreach, but then back in the day, it was called. I did their fan club. Oh. I was like administrator of their fan club.
So you was a groupie. You was a groupie.
I didn't say it. Jay said it.
Let's qualify that word. I don't think there's no groupie that start. No, I'm gonna get this in there. I don't think there's no groupie that starts a fan club from zero, okay, and actually administrates it, creates everything for it, and made it a second stream income for the group at age 18. Okay, yes, that would be me. Okay.
So you
Jay, I used to say the same thing.
You was a super groupie.
Hey, it's
Okay.
not see, that's Jay. Now that ain't me. That ain't me.
Okay,
That's
okay,
Jay.
I'm sorry. Ooh, let me reel it back in. Let me reel it back.
Wow.
Girl, you
Let me just say, I was the paid one. I wasn't the one that
Okay,
was
well,
just chasing up after somebody. I was the paid one.
yeah, now that does make a difference when you're getting dividends.
Exactly.
Oh, you was the
And all expense paid trips, you know, and all that good type of stuff. Yeah, I was the paid one.
Okay.
girl.
So we talked about that, and then we talked about the fact that very early on in your relationship, you guys had a major hurdle to get over with the trouble you ran into, Jenny.
Well, that wasn't early on. We had been married at least 12 years.
Whatever it was, you put me through all that
13
stuff.
We were married about 13 years. So
Okay.
it wasn't that, yeah, it wasn't that
Okay,
early.
so it wasn't as new. Okay, that new.
It
Okay.
wasn't that early on. Yeah,
So-
yeah. Go ahead. Well, I'm not gonna tell when I get this question and I've gotten into question in a couple of interviews, but I'm actually writing my life story. So that's in one of the books that I'm writing because I've had a fabulous, amazing life. But yes, I experienced incarceration. I'm not a person that can sit here and say that I'm above it. You know, even though when I was incarcerated, I was not like those people. I was not of those people. I'm like, who would these people be? They were nothing like me because I always had a connection to the outside world. I always had my family. I always had phone calls. I always had I had everything during my incarceration except my freedom. That was the only thing that I did not have.
Shoot, I was locked up too.
It was trying on our marriage, but we knew that we were being tested, you know, and what we were going through. And after all, it was said and done when I was released and the lawsuits came through and everything. Let's just say we came out on top.
Yes. So let's say that. So when they write a book, and I wanted to bring that up and not to throw shade or anything like that because you guys have done some amazing things. But when you write a book called Surviving Marriage, it's not in theory. You didn't write this book out of a theory.
And I put it as part of my bio because I want people to understand it's not hide because people can Google you and find out anything they want to find out, even though there's some lies out there about Google. So if you want to ask me something, ask me, you know, in regards to it in a situation, and you're never really going to know what happened until I write it, until I say it, you know, what in regards to what happened with that situation. But like I said, after I was released and the lawsuits went through and all that good type of stuff, let's just say we came out on top.
Right. So, and again, like I said that specifically because when you say surviving marriage, it's more than a notion. It really is. You guys really did have to go through a lot of things. So let's talk about that. So you decided to write the book. You wrote the book. You self-published the book, right?
Yes.
You went and got it, you know, on Amazon. You started selling it. You started promoting it. Tell me about hitting the bestsellers list on Amazon. I mean, how did that even happen?
How could we say, I mean, in total shock? You know, it wasn't something that was expected. We put our best foot forward as far as our book was concerned. Our goals was very low because we just wanted something that was
mine was real low.
It wasn't as low as just maybe having some coasters for the coffee table, you know, or to hand out to friends and family. But you know, if we felt that if we sold 100 books, that we were successful. Because a lot of people, up until this time before we put out the book, I spoke with several people. We have several Twitter connections that have put out books, self-published books. And I spoke to them about their book journey and what they did, what they didn't do, how did their book sell, what was their goal for their book, you know, and different things. You know,
I know your family ain't going to buy 100 books.
Yeah.
Y'all can forget that.
Yeah. We know someone who set their goal really, really high, like, what is it, 100 million books? He wanted to sell 100 million books.
Wow.
I thought he said 200.
And I said, well, you know, your book isn't the Bible. That's not the Bible. You know, that's the only book I've known that's really sold like.
Why your hand all in my face?
That amount of books, and he ended up selling 6 books. So we looked at that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Quit playing with me.
he ended up
Yeah, you
telling.
need to quit playing.
I'm
He
so
ended up
done.
telling.
I mean, look, your mama about 6 books.
I'm just saying.
But this is what we were saying as far as people and their idealism. We didn't know anything about the book game. Nothing, nada about the book game. So we tried to find out as much
Google it.
information as possible. And I spoke to people. I was Googling. I was, talking to different companies, talked to different publishers. Not that, for somebody to just, oh, we'll call you back. No, I need to talk to somebody about such and such, this, budgets, all kind of things. So I educated myself as much as possible, and I left the rest to God. I'm saying we're going to put this out and put our best foot forward as far as this book is concerned.
And while she was talking to the publisher and all that good stuff, I was looking up ways that we can write the book, dictation, softwares, the PDFs, the EP, all that other good stuff. I was looking up everything that we can do. We just took on different tasks. She took on marketing. I took on actual the writing of this.
Yeah, and I fell back on my PR and marketing skills and my network relationships and said, okay, hey, we have a book. We're like little nobodies over here. We have a book.
I ain't know nobody. I don't know who you're talking about.
Because
I definitely can remember getting the email and the press release about the book. And so I definitely say that it was a team effort. I think it was genius to decide to transcribe. I think people feel like, okay, can I write a book? But can you have a conversation?
Yes.
I think that some people have these grandiose ideas about, what a book has to be. Or I'm not a writer. You don't have to be a writer. Or you're a conversationalist. Can you have a conversation? And can you leave that? Can you let the editors actually do what they do? And those kinds of things. So, so you got the book to Amazon. And so the bestsellers list was just you. What type of promotion did you use for the book?
Okay, well, there was a lot of like I said, network marketing, network relationships. Our total social media, putting that out with Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We had YouTube videos.
It was actually on that Nook too, right?
Yeah, it was on Nook.
Trailer.
Yeah. We were on Nook, and Barnes and Nobles and everything. Yeah. And a lot of the retailers helped us out as well, because when we started doing book signings, they would e-blast to all of their people, like the local stores. If they had an email list and different things, they would send out an e-blast and let people know that we were coming for different book signing events. So the PR and the marketing, I think that because I had, been doing it for Prison World for so long, that part came kind of easy. I think the interest came because of the topic. Marriage is a huge
with that divorce rate going up like it
topic, and you normally don't see a couple, us, looking like us, doing something in regards to marriage. So people were really curious about it. And then, of course, the Ebony, having that connection and that credibility kind of helped us out.
I don't know how you got me Ebony magazine.
Well, I tell you what, it definitely was a eye catcher. So let's talk about this. Your book has 13 tips. So why 13 and not 14, 15, 16, or 8? Why the 13?
Well, that was a part of the marketing strategy. It was coming out in 2013. So 13 was always like an unlucky number for people. They think it's like a taboo and everything. So it just all blended in with the marketing. So you have to survive. People think of Friday the 13th is, what am I going to do? Am I going to survive? Am I going to get through,
I told her to make it Friday the 14th.
Am I going to get break a mirror or something like that? So it all kind of tied into the marketing with the 13.
Okay, and so you've had a lot of media coverage. Do you feel like the book got you the media coverage? Do you feel like the media coverage helped you write the book? Do you feel like they played off of each other? Did it happen at the same time? How did they work together?
Well, we've definitely gotten more media coverage after the book.
I mean, some of it did, but some of it she just worked hard to set up. Some of it came after her setting up so many interviews, and then other people may catch it and want us to come on their show type of thing.
Yeah.
So wait, what were you doing before? Were you blogging about marriage? What kind of information were you putting out about marriage?
We didn't have a blog about marriage. We were doing the prison world thing, but it was always us as visual, a couple. We were a married couple working together. So there's authenticity here. There's no facade. This is how we are. So when we put out the book and then people started seeing our videos, we started that Surviving Marriage tips video series, and they started seeing it. It was like, wow, you guys are so funny. We were getting feedback about how hilarious and everything we are. They called him a ham.
Ain't nobody call me no ham.
Yes, they did. Like,
ain't no piece
like
of
to
meat.
ham it up, and it's just they were contacting us just for feedback on for comments, for feedback. And then we had the radio show. We had been doing our radio show for 3 years before the book came out. Book came out, we had been doing it for 4, and now we went on a year hiatus because of the book, and now we've picked it back up. And it's like whoever we contact as far as interviews, they're like, sure, of course, because we're so just out there. We had contacted her a while before. We're just getting back into it. Judge Maybelline, we just interviewed her. She knew all about our work. She follows us on Twitter. And she knew about everything. So we were kind of blindsided, like at the end of our interview, she goes, well, you guys keep up the good work you guys are doing. You guys are doing a very good job.
Because she walked in on that interview and we was interviewing Michael Collier.
And
just walking in on no interview.
We didn't even know. How would we know that, she keeps up? You got a busy schedule yourself. You know what I'm saying? But she's keeping up and knowing what we're doing, as far as that.
So let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about relevancy and relevant content. One of the things, like I brought up the Ready for the World thing, but one of the things I can say about you guys and all your interviews and everything I've ever seen, I've never really seen that. I had to dig to find that information. So what I like about that, right, because you always got the dude that was like this high school quarterback, homecoming king, and he's like 50 years old, and he's still talking about, when I was the homecoming king, right? So
at the high school reunion.
Right, with you know what I'm saying, dude, you don't look like that same guy no more.
And posting the pics on Throwback
Thursday. And y'all two cracking me up. Y'all two cracking me up.
All your visibility and credibility for your brand is built up on who you used to be versus who you are today. So one of the things I think that I really like about your brand is that it's always current and it's always relevant. It's not like your new successes. You're just constantly building success. So there's always something new to report. So how do you stay, because you're talking about Judge Maybelline, but you stay visible, you stay relevant. You're always doing something. You're always sharing what you do without being braggadocious, right? So that I appreciate that.
Never that.
And really always adding value. I absolutely love your Facebook page. We share a lot of content back and forth.
Right, because I love you.
So then let's talk about how you stay current and relevant with your content.
Well, we made sure you had made a statement about not just keep bringing up the past. We found out because we are where we are now, that people want to know more about our past.
Where am I? I'm at home.
They want to know where we actually came from. It's like, wow, who are these people? Who are they? Who are they? So what they want to know more about that. So I bring out little pieces of information on Throwback Thursday, but it's always something to talk about. Just now in the news about the Ray Rice. Okay, it's popular now because TMZ made it popular. We talked about this a year ago. I just posted something from our blog, from our Prison World blog. We did a whole series on domestic violence. We did a radio interview in regards to the NFL and domestic violence. There's always something to talk about. So we keep our ears to the ground, so to speak, and making sure that we are talking about the current things.
You always telling me, watch this. Watch this, watch this. I don't want to watch everything.
A lot of people are always sweeping things under the rug and don't like to talk about them. I think what people get from us and what the media like is that, what you see is what you get. You put
Yeah,
us on TV,
authenticity.
we're going to say exactly what we mean. If you see I said it on Facebook, you put me in front of the camera, I'm going to say it. I'm not going to say, ooh, I
I
can't.
ain't gonna say what I
Ooh, I
mean.
can't
You know
say that.
what? You have absolutely, you're absolutely correct. I think that that's also been part of what's made me attractive to the media, is just really being authentic and honest, and really not afraid to say it. You and I have even disagreed on a numerous occasions on our social media pages, and it
Right?
doesn't change the relationship at all. I think people a lot of times are afraid to show you who they are because they're afraid of not being accepted or being
Right.
ostracized in some way.
Right.
People want to fit in, and actually, the way you grow your brand is by not fitting in. So let's talk about the fact that
Right.
you guys defy
Right.
so many stereotypes, right?
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. And I think it's a curiosity for people. You want to take a question?
Huh?
You want to take a
Okay, so
question?
let me pose this question.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
this is what
I'm
happened.
sorry. He know I like to hog the mic. This ain't nothing new. I'm just being me.
Ooh, I ain't saying nothing about nobody hogging. Nobody
Okay,
hogging
let
no
me
mic
ask
for
you
me.
a
No,
question. So let's talk about your lifestyle, being Muslim, being married, having kids. You know, so we got the parenting factor in there, and they're being very community driven. And then you have the prison world, which is the radio show and the magazine and all the other outlets attached to that. So this is literally a complete lifestyle for you guys. I had some misconceptions. I think building my relationship, and this is why it's important to build relationships with people that are different from you, different races, different cultures, different religions. I had some preconceived ideas about Muslim women. I thought they were all passive. I thought they were all pushovers. I thought that, you know, they just kind of like were docile, right?
Can you start being a pushover for me, please?
Ooh.
Just a little bit.
Can you start being a pushover for me? If you become a
I said just a
pushover,
little bit.
okay. If you become a pushover, then I'll become a pushover. How
So
about
then I
that?
met Jenny, right? And we started to develop a relationship. And then I have another client. Shout out to Samia Rashid.
Hey,
And she's also just like a boss. You know what I mean? She just like goes for it, gets it, and like she kills the game. And that was like an aha moment for me. And so one of the things that I appreciate, I was very surprised that you guys were so open about your spirituality. So let's talk about what that means to the public eye, and what does that mean to your community? I mean, how do people feel about that? Because Muslim people tend to be a lot, you know, very quiet about their life and their lifestyle.
I tell you what, people need to quit asking me about what's that thing going on over there.
Don't ask me. You wanted to talk.
Talking about ISIS.
You wanted to talk. Go ahead.
Look, I don't know nothing about nobody cutting nobody's head off.
And all of that.
ISIS overseas. Yeah.
You know, they asked me about them boys getting their head cut off over there, like I'm supposed to know. I don't know. I don't know why they cutting their head off. I wouldn't cut nobody's head off. I think it's crazy.
So let's talk about your community, right? Because again, your community, you don't see Muslim people on in media. You don't see them on reality TV. I mean, you guys are very, very public, and I'm wondering how your community handles that.
Well, you know, Jay, you're gonna have naysayers in any community. You know,
I ain't heard nobody say nothing to me.
and anything that you do. No one has said anything to us, but a lot of times Muslims are not going to be confrontational, you know, in regards to
they'll let you know
what's
if they
going
don't
on,
like something,
to say, you know, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. You know, we have a lot of support. We're thankful for our supporters. Any of our supporters watching? Hey, okay.
Hey,
And
hey,
hey.
She said, whoop whoop.
Okay. We're thankful for all of that, but so much comes to us. You know, I get real caught up sometimes, and I get real emotional. I'm an emotional person sometimes when things happen, because it's almost like it shouldn't be happening, because you don't see Muslims doing this. You don't see this happening to Muslims. And we're so attractive to media because I think our style, I think they like our style.
I just wanted to break the barriers of what a Muslim is. I mean, a Muslim ain't got to be, like she said, this passive and, you know.
And you don't have to be so militant and so preachy. No one wants somebody to come on a TV show and I just think that my brother, and you know, who wants to listen to that all day long? How is that teaching someone something? How is that? That's not even our lifestyle. We don't walk around doing that. Get me some eggs and get me a burger And don't turn on TV.
I could try if you're gonna give me a little bit of room to work with.
Who lives like that? I mean, this is how we live. We're playful, we're joyful, but we do all the things that are obligated by our religion. We make our prayers.
We fast during the month of Ramadan.
During the month of Ramadan, we give in charity. We're charitable people. You know, we do all of that. We read our Quran. We do what we're supposed to do. So all of that, what other people see, you know, you're not going to see me in all black because I'm a colorful woman. I'm a fashionista. And it's just,
yeah, you spend too much money, though.
Those are, you know, are stereotypes that we're trying to break and get away from because it's not Islam. And as far as reality TV, Muslims need to understand that we can be on it. You just have to control it. You just have to control it.
All right, and so now let's talk a little bit. You guys have a lot of media coverage. I've had conversations with you, Jenny. You're like, look, we're trying to get this house together because they're about to come in and shoot some video. They're about to come in and do some TV. You know, and Jay, I'm going to talk to you later. We got to get to this photo shoot. So you guys are in the media a lot. And so to say that means sometimes it's not convenient to be in it. So let's just say what happens when when Rufus got up on the wrong side. Let me ask Rufus. When Jenny got up on the wrong side of the bed, y'all a knockdown, drag out fight, right?
We don't have those anymore.
Who don't?
Don't talk to me, right? Okay, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me, right? Well, y'all had us, and then you have to turn around and go on air and interview and be a couple. Tell me how you kind of like balance that.
Oh, no.
You better tell the truth.
If I'm mad, they going to get a little bit of what's going on.
You better tell the truth.
I'm going to tell the truth.
That is so not what you do. Tell the truth.
I tell the truth.
See, we have it
out. She made me mad this morning.
Yeah.
I'm still upset.
Yeah, we've had it out before some interviews, but when the light goes on and the microphone goes on, is all good. The show goes on.
I mean, look, they didn't ask about us. I tell them before. I said, hey, we're doing a workshop, and the guy say, do I know everything about my wife? But I said, man, I just got in town. I just learned something about her last night. I just let him know. Hey.
But it wasn't a bad thing.
Huh? It was a bad thing. I supposed to know everything.
No, but I'm saying the way that you said it to them, it wasn't a bad thing.
That's because I don't get. I try not to get upset, Jay, no more. All right, I don't. You know, we're all
find out what you're drinking and get some of that. Not getting upset.
We are. I
need about a fifth a day of a not getting upset.
No. Okay.
40 ounce
you better get some of that green tea.
What I mean by that is we've learned how to disagree. I could be upset, but the way I'm gonna disagree is going to be different from 20 years ago. 20 years ago, we getting a divorce.
We don't even want to go there.
We getting divorced now. I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that for 1 second, right? When couples get married early on, they throw that divorce word out a lot.
Oh, right? It's cake.
Yes.
Right, they throw that word out a lot. And for me, it's so serious to me, right? You can't say that word to me out of anger because I'm going to go to the judge, right?
Most of y'all do.
Right? So I'm going to need you not to use that as an idle threat. Right? Because, you know,
sometimes it don't be idle now. Sometimes it don't be idle.
No, but I think that people don't mean it in anger. So let's talk about the things that people say in anger, right? Because some stuff you can't take back. And so tell me about, number one, controlling what you say, and number two, the forgiveness factor.
I
don't think you should control nothing. I think you should say what's on your mind.
Exactly. And I don't think it's anything as far as, you know, saying some stuff you can't take back. Because I don't think those things have ever been said.
Well, I mean, once you learn each other, what ain't been said? Oh, I didn't say it a lot.
That you couldn't take back?
I ain't taking nothing back.
Let me be more specific. I'm talking about the people that have the arguments where there's the name calling and utter disrespect. That stuff to me you can't take back. Now that's me.
You think
you
so?
Can't. You think so? No, you can't take it back.
Now, if I'm with a dude and he calls me a fat cow dude, it's over. We done.
Oh wow.
You can't take it back, but
you can't take, because you just told me what you really think about me, right?
Yeah. No, 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 not.
I was gonna say,
No,
I was gonna say
no,
no
Jay,
because
no, Jay, not really.
because in arguments, I feel you're looking to push buttons.
That's right.
You're looking to
That's
push
what we
those
do.
buttons that you know
So
are going to hurt.
I may love you to death, but
Yes.
Talk about my hair or something, boo. Don't talk about my weight. You know that's my.
No, that's what you feel.
Because if you look at it, because he's never put his hands on me. But if you get into an argument, you're gonna try to find a way that's gonna hurt like a blow.
I mean, you're gonna find the whatever we know about each other, we're gonna use that in an argument. That's just what we do.
Yeah, that's.
Oh my God. Okay, that's why I'm single then.
You sensitive.
I'm sensitive. I'm sensitive. We have to fight for her. We have to fight.
Hey. In a marriage, there is no fighting fair.
There's no fighting fair.
It is just getting over it and moving on. Really.
Okay, I mean, you do. I'm gonna tell you. I told a guy this over the weekend. I hold grudges. I just.
Most of y'all do.
Most women do, but you have to look at the levels of fighting. I call it levels of fighting because there's things that you can do. You can be petty, hide the keys. That's real petty. Oh my God, that will drive somebody nuts. Hide the keys. You know how long it takes somebody looking around trying to find the keys. Tearing up the house trying to find the keys.
And you up there like,
I'm gonna find the keys.
Right. I don't know. I ain't seen your key. Why you asking?
I might not tear you up, but I'm gonna tear this house.
There's levels of things that you could do that just really, really could irk somebody. Before
note to self, hide the key.
You did.
And hide that. And see, mind you, we've been married over 20 years. But let's go back. Let's go into the new millennium. Hide the cell phone. How about that? Somebody will really tear up the house. They call a fire department trying to find the cell phone.
Buy me another one. Yeah. Take mine. I'm going to buy another one.
You know what? No, and I'm gonna tell you, for me, don't hide the cell phone. Just take the SIM card out. Ain't no contacts in it. It's even worse. Okay.
Y'all just need to stop it.
And that's the woman, right? That's
right. Right. But I'm saying there's things that you can do, without having to name call. Put your hands on somebody or whatever.
The name calling is part of the arguing in the earlier stages.
There's other ways to push buttons. Just saying.
Y'all know I'm sensitive. I'm just saying.
How about this one? Don't cook.
Well, I don't cook anyway, so that ain't gonna be no fun.
Very good. We just go out to get something to eat. We don't care.
I'm talking about for the ones who do. Don't.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I'm just saying, dear future hubby. You're watching, dude. Don't call me back, okay? I'm just like. All right, so let's go. We've got about 15 minutes. This is good stuff. It's getting good. Okay. So let's talk about this. You guys, whenever I call, she's like, "Well, we're about to run errands. We're about to," and she says "I," but I know it's we, right?
Oh, we're dragging me somewhere.
You guys are always together. You work together. You live together. You're married.
You grab me by the collar.
So how do you do that? Because I'm trying to tell you, I can't even share office space with nobody, right?
Oh wow! And we do that too. Where
I'm gonna shake the crap out of him, right? So how do you guys spend this kind of time together and don't wring each other's neck?
In fact, you in my space right now.
Yeah, we do that too. We're actually at his desk. My desk, if you can see it, is behind.
Yeah, get on over there.
My desk is actually behind.
We'll put Jay over there. Get on over there.
We're back to back, but it's about respecting each other's space. So even though we're in the house together, we don't necessarily have to be in the same room to be in the house together.
You can get when we get the plane tickets for LA, you can put my ticket toward the front.
Now we're gonna be sitting together watching movies, so I don't even know why you tripping.
Can I sit by that other man?
If people don't know, we actually enjoy spending time together. We met a couple in Chicago. Well, we can't even say a couple. We met a wife in Chicago a couple weeks ago. Had been married 50 years. So she's standing at our table talking to us, about our book and everything. And she told us she'd been married 50 years. So I was like, oh, great, wonderful. Where's your husband? I don't know. He's somewhere far away from me. So
But it works for them.
Yeah.
It works for them.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I was going around visiting people, even like in a marketplace or whatever, a lot of times my husband doesn't go table to table with me. He'll stand like to the back
Like
or
way
whatever.
over to the back.
But if I turn around and give him a cue that he needs to come up and pay the people, you know what I'm saying?
Then I say, oh, Lord, why I got to...
You know, he's right there. But I'm saying, but he gives me that space. So it's about knowing each other and giving each other space. A lot of times, yes, we'll be riding in the car together. We may not even talk or say anything.
I'm going to sleep.
There's no words that needs to be said. You know we have a schedule. We know when we need to talk about things. We laugh. We watch movies.
I know you're going to say, I'm tired. You going to drive?
We enjoy each other. I told him today, I said, we need to knock this radio show out. If he's feeling like doing it, he does. If he doesn't, it can wait till tomorrow. If God willing and the creek don't rise and we get up and we do it tomorrow, it just so happens. We don't put unnecessary pressures on one another because it's not necessary. It's not. Yeah, that part of our lives.
That's
over.
One of the keys to a lot of these marriages that we go to these workshops. That's one of the biggest keys. Because she should be doing what up, man? I mean, it's good if we tell each other what we would like from each other. But if the person does it, then I mean that's what it is. We can't. I'm one of those people. You can't force someone to do something. Period. You can't force someone.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so we talked about that, you guys. I saw something. Did you actually sue your son to get the money back?
Look here, I was telling her I don't want to do this.
Yes.
And then she grab me by my collar again. Come on, we're going anyway.
Yes, we did. And we felt, because we have 3 sons, he's the oldest, and we felt we needed to teach him a lesson. He was the first one to go to college, and he was the first one to constantly be asking for money. Constantly.
We actually had a contract with him
for money.
That he was going to pay for this car. He was doing everything else, spending his money, but it was about obligations. It was about trying to teach him early on before they get into obligation with someone who will really come after him. Right. So we just really wanted him to know that this is serious business, man. Somebody going to come after you and want their money.
Okay, so just for the people who don't know, I'm talking about they were on an episode of was it Family Court with
Judge Penny.
With Judge Penny, and so it wasn't. I saw the clip, and I was like, for real? Here's why. Not because I think that it was a bad thing. I think most people don't have the courage to hold their kids accountable, particularly not publicly. You know what I mean?
The thing about it is,
our kids are perfect. They do great stuff. We want to, we don't hold them accountable publicly. So
no. What she understood, because her son is Muslim, so she mentioned that. If you could see the whole episode, we only put up a clip. We have the whole episode, and she said that normally, you guys would probably not be handling this in the public eye. It would be more of a private matter. But we let her know that we wanted him, to face responsibilities.
We wanted him, but we also wanted other people to see. I mean, we need to hold our children accountable early on before they leave our home. Yes. Because after they leave our home, I mean, that we feeding them to the streets.
And when I said that I didn't want him living with us when he's 30, she let us know that her son was at home in the basement and he's 30. He lived with them.
She gonna let us, but she let us know that off camera, didn't she?
Yeah, she said that. Yeah, she said it on camera that her son was at home, with them in the basement, and he was 30 years old.
I'm like, see, Your Honor, I ain't trying to have that.
Right, and so we're raising 3 men. These are going to be somebody's husbands, and they need to be responsible. But the thing, we were serious. The show was real, and our case was serious and everything. But we just
I wouldn't have did it if it was fake.
We just made them laugh so hard. The cameraman was laughing, the audience was laughing, the producers was laughing, the judge was laughing.
I'm not trying to make nobody laugh. Why you making people laugh?
After the episode, she came out from the bit around, out to the back where we were, and she came out there and gave us a hug or whatever. She was just like, y'all are just great. So
this is the piece that I mean about the authenticity. You just showed up as yourself, not as a persona.
Right.
You just showed up as yourself and behaved as you normally would. So, but anyway, kudos to you for that accountability piece. Most of us can't hold our kids accountable in private, let alone in public. So I just thought that was very much a standoff. So wait a minute, we've got some big stuff coming up. We got the whole TLC thing, and I don't mean the singing group, I mean the TV network, right? I mean, while I would love to be singing So We Creep, we talking about the network. The network. So you guys have something to tell us about. Number one, how do you land a spot on TLC? And number two, tell us about what's coming up with them.
Okay, first of all, let me say I'm sitting here and I am so excited. You want to tell a story? You want me to tell a story?
What story?
About TLC.
I don't tell stories.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Well, first of all, when we got the email, because it was an email, and I explained it to him and told him about it, what was your first reaction?
Is that why I said that?
No.
Oh, that ain't what I said? Well, I don't know what my first reaction was then.
You said no. You didn't want to. He said no. He did not want
I say no to a lot of stuff.
Yes, he does.
Jay, I be saying no to everything.
Yeah, but I know. I know what to do.
Well, I know some things you won't say no to. Like say a super groupie with a beautiful smile.
Oh, she went there.
Hey, I'm going to own that. I'm gonna own that because I made it work for me. Okay.
Well, Jay, I used to say it, but somebody told me I can't say that no more.
No, you followed the crowd in saying that.
I followed the crowd. I don't
Yes,
never follow nobody. What you talking about?
Oh, don't even try it.
Who I follow?
Okay, so the TLC thing. Got back to that.
Okay, TLC. They contacted us in regards to doing a show. We have. Let me clarify this. We have a TV special with TLC. We don't have like an 8-episode series with TLC. It could turn into that depending on how this special goes with TLC. It's Taylor's story and everything is tailored around us. Okay, it's a TV special with TLC, and they contacted us. They had seen our website, saw the videos and everything that we talked about, and they thought we were great. They kept saying, "Oh my gosh, we want to showcase you guys. We think you're such a great couple."
Yeah, but what they did though, Jay, TLC say. Send us a video like right now. Y'all do a video, and we did the video, and they like you said, Jay, what you gonna get? What you see is what you gonna get, and they got the same exact thing that they saw on the site. So they like, oh yeah, we want to do this.
They were giving us all these instructions talking about, oh, it doesn't have to be all formal and edited and everything. Just take something with your cell phone and just walk around your house and talk, or whatever.
So, did you just put on a producer voice for me? Just take something with your cell phone and walk around.
Yeah, that's
the switch on me.
Jay, that's what I be saying. Is that how they sounded?
Yeah, that's how it was. I was like, okay. And it was always, and send it right away. Can you send it to me like now? Can you send it right away? I said, okay, well, let me get my husband and, we'll see.
They wanted to see if we were fake.
Exactly. They
wanted to see if we can do the same thing on camera.
They wanted to see what we were going to do was going to be the same thing that came across. We sent it over. Heard from them like right back, like immediately. They said, yes, you guys are great. They sent it up the
chain that day.
Yes, you guys are great. We definitely want you for the show. They expedited the process, criminal background check, and even though I have a criminal background, it's still, I was totally honest with them and as far as what happened, and it was they said it was so many years ago and you guys are so fabulous and what you're doing now is not part of your life now because, some people like to get hung up on that, depending on what you do, some people get hung up on it. And they said, it doesn't even matter. We want you for the show. So everything was expedited, paperwork, notary.
Okay, so hold on. Can I just take a minute while I say, bam! I just
living color.
That's what I call the pow factor. Okay, so now let's switch back to branding for a second and building brands and your brand. It's a marriage lifestyle brand. Now, here's what I can appreciate. There are so many niches out there, but you guys have actually niched within a niche, which means you've got the relationship arena where a lot of the marriage lives, but you don't just stick to the relationship, you stick to the lifestyle. So you have niched with the marriage lifestyle brand. You're marriage lifestyle experts, not just relationship experts. And so and that's because you built a brand around all the things that were important to you, right? The prison world stuff, your spirituality, your religion, your family, your marriage. All of those were things that for you encompassed the lifestyle. So we had a conversation early on about, because your relationship audience was different from your prison world audience. You and I had a conversation about just separating the websites and the social media just so that they both can attract their authentic, organic audiences to help build that marriage brand. So when I first talked to you about it, you were like, ooh, yeah, that's a lot more stuff to keep up with, right? So then we go back, fast forward a year, and then I talked to you, and I went to a website, and you had done everything that I told you to do, right?
Right.
It had been working for you, and you're like, yeah, I did it. One of the things that
Is that how it sounded? See?
That's how you sounded. I did.
I did it. I was slow, but I'm obedient, and I did it. And so, there are times when you can build a brand. Like for me, I have a business lifestyle brand. I'm a business lifestyle blogger. There are times when you can house everything that you do under one roof, and there are times when it just has to be separate because if the audiences are too diverse. And if you're having to do this. So now you have Dawa International. Did I say it right?
Yes, Dawa International.
You have Dawa International, which is the parent company, and under that you have the marriage, surviving marriage, and fragrance, and all that stuff, the marital family stuff, and then you have the prison world stuff. That's kind of like a conglomerate, basically.
Are you saying we got an empire over here?
Who got an empire?
At least a baby empire. You know what I'm saying? An empire.
Media moguls.
You need to quit putting me on all them hats.
Right. And so you have that going on. And so tell me, as you see this brand growing, even though like they sit separately, but there's still one parent brand who grows all of this. Tell me how you see your brand growing in the next 5 years.
Well, I see, and he may not agree because the male and the female version is different sometimes. Okay, till we get to that path in the road. I see us as growing as media personalities, and like I said, who knows what will happen from this TLC special. We've been asked about doing some documentaries. I would love to add that to our umbrella, in our list of things, documentaries. I feel those are great. And I definitely want to continue on with the radio show. It's growing. It's popular. It's branded. And
I just want to save more marriages.
And our online and outreach to the public. Oprah just had her thing at the Phillips Arena here, and she spoke to however many people over a 2-day period. Who knows? We may not get Phillips Arena, but we might get the Atlantic Civic Center, and do motivational speeches, as far as marriages are concerned.
Okay, so you're just interested in growing. So do you think that this is your legacy?
Most definitely.
I sure hope so.
Inshallah,
I really hope, Jay, that people get what, all right, I think people need to choose what we always say, attack, like what we give into society. We need to make a mark. We all need to do something to give back to society, and that's that is what our purpose is. Yeah. This is my way of hopefully trying to give back. It's not about me making $1 million. It's really if I set out to try to keep marriages together, and that's really what I would like to see happen. Yeah. If this is my lifestyle and this is my way of making a living, praise be to God for that. But I really just want to see more marriages work.
Yeah, and I definitely think that we have 2 more books, in our plan, and then My Life Story, which is amazing.
I'm trying to help people parent some of these kids out here. They ain't got no parents.
You must say so yourself, Junie, right? If you must say so yourself, it's amazing.
Amazing, yeah. And
ain't that amazing, Jay?
I have to say that because somebody said that to me, and I just wanted to repeat that.
Why you got to point at Jay? We can see we on TV.
Okay, so guys, tell people where they can find you online and where they can get your book.
Okay.
We go.
SurvivingMarriageTips.com is the marriage side of things. Our book is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble's, Books A Million, anywhere books are sold. And you can also find us on the Prison World side at prisonworldblogtalk.com. And we blog about different prison issues, prison reform, the criminal justice system. And you can find us all over social media. Facebook, we have 2. We have Prison World and the Rufus and Jenny, and Twitter we have our marriage tips and the Prison World. And if you go to any of our sites, you can connect with us via social media, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, and all of that everywhere.
Just all over the place, all up in,
just everywhere.
All up and through here.
We are a social media couple. We all over it.
Okay, so I want to say first, let me just thank you guys again.
Thank you, Jay.
Rufus has the official title of being the first dude on Naked Chat.
Dude!
But he wasn't naked. Okay.
Got that right.
We run a respectable program up and through here. So I just wanted to say thank you guys for coming on. Thank you for talking to me. Thank you for sharing your story. I think we should probably do another Google Hangout.
You think so?
I think we should do another. Especially once you get your show aired and all that kind of stuff. I think I can bring you guys back.
Okay, yeah, and then we could talk about our couples retreat in Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. Okay, so why I got to be couples? Well, can I come along? I don't know, carry some luggage. I don't know.
I don't know. That dude in Costa Rica said
a registration desk, perhaps.
It's for couples because it's a reconnect. It's a reconnect, and we're going to love it because it's a week after our 25th anniversary, and it's going to be a week away from everything.
Do I get to do the song?
I am Jay Stone, the emotional nudist. You can find me at jaystone.com. That's JAISTONE. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and any Instagram and any other social media outlet as JAISTONE. We are talking to Rufus and Jenny Triplett. Thank you guys. We've had a conversation today about things that affect real women, real business, and real life. I'm Jay Stone once again. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks, Jay.
Holla!